What's up, y'all? It's David here. Just want to let you know we had some audio issues with this podcast. Accidentally selected the laptop microphone instead of the actual microphones. So tried to upscale it the best we can. We still thought it was very good, so want to put it out. Hope you enjoy.
All right.
Oh wait,
no one cares.
It did the thing though.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, all right, ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Guys, come on. Don't make me hang it. There we go.
All right.
No, I was gonna.
Let's go. Yeah, but we got.
I was gonna include this.
No, because I don't. Does it show up?
Gosh.
Does it show?
I don't
know. All right. Hey everyone, this is episode 2 of Get Pickled. To my right, we do have the owner of 11SIX24 Pickleball Paddles, David, and then to my left, we have Hugh.
Yeah, just Hugh.
Just Hugh.
Not who.
Not who.
Not who.
It is Hugh.
Hugh.
And then myself, Maxwell.
So, this past weekend, saw some great things coming out of PPA San Clemente. Some good memes of pickleball does not miss.
Yeah. So, what do you think of that? There were definitely, I'd say, one main highlight meme, so to speak, of reaction, maybe overreaction by some, maybe.
Yeah. So to give everyone some context.
Yep.
There was a video of Ben Johns. Well, we can say it doesn't matter. Ben Johns, who was not happy with the ball this weekend. He was saying this ball sucks and was getting some funny bounces. And I'm kind of wondering if they played with maybe the old Vulcan, because I have some of the new ones here.
Yeah.
Played 7 singles matches yesterday and had one weird bounce off the serve, which happens with every ball, right? That happened with the new Franklin Eco Beta
court.
Pro or
court
whatever
could
it
be
is.
a little,
Lots of factors play into a weird bounce.
Yes. So I actually like the new one. It is it's a little bit softer than the old one. It did still go out around, but again, only one weird bounce. But I think I do prefer the new Franklin ball better. It's a little bit harder. It also goes out around, but you don't get any weird bounces. Or I played last weekend, a bunch of singles matches again. 2 matches of singles, some skinny doubles, or skinny singles, not skinny doubles. that would be
let's
close quarters.
Wait, yes, you could be onto something here.
Yeah, right.
You could be onto something. Wait a minute.
Interesting.
We'll talk after.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think he may just have been having a bad day.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been interesting.
He's had a few bad days.
Yeah, new world number 1.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild.
It is.
If you had said that 6 months ago, everyone would have called you crazy.
No, which, I mean, I think it's good for the sport of pickleball to have, I guess they're king and queen with Anna Lee and Ben Johns. Because, I mean, it's like they are just, when you think of, best in the world, you automatically think of them if you do watch pickleball. But now, we're in this such growing stage where I'm so happy that there are other players that are at their level and then, maybe even can surpass it one day. I think it's only going to help the sport.
I do remember a few months ago, a lot of people on social media were saying they were getting sick, so to speak, of Ben and Ellie just being almost automatic win after win after win, triple crown after triple crown. Well, that's, at least on the men's side, not as much the case. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's too bad the PPA doesn't do anything with the story around that, though, to get better viewership.
Honestly, you're not wrong. We have these 2 individuals. If you look at their whole career, I mean, they are just so dominant. So dominant in the sport. And you're right. You don't hear any kind of big, news stories about them or anything.
No, and there should be. If you look at a sport like women's basketball, I don't know if y'all ever watched before this year. I didn't.
Yeah.
But now Caitlin Clark and all these records and going to the WNBA, and now there's a huge story and there's all this viewership. So they can do something big with it, but they don't. Same with MLP. They kind of mess that up, and the whole points thing, even going to the event, it was so anticlimactic because you build up, you think, to a championship on Sunday, but it's now they're just playing for points.
Yeah.
So only half the teams are there. But anyways, I don't want to.
Well, I definitely think it's probably a different topic for another episode of watching pickleball versus playing pickleball, watching pickleball versus watching something like tennis. I've read a few articles and a few other thinking of why, say, people aren't watching pickleball as much as they watch tennis. But we can address that.
Yeah, that's a whole other
That is
episode.
another whole
But
episode.
also with PPA and San Clemente, which one of our athletes we sponsor, Helen, got triple crown, five golds, and singles, mixed, and gender doubles, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to see. And she also played in some pro events as well. So those are a little tougher, but 5.50 golds is no joke at
Triple
PPA.
crown. Is anyone else within kind of, I guess, the 5.0 kind of circuit like that winning as much as she is? Because I mean, I know even if she's not getting like gold, she does place a lot like within these different PPA tournaments.
Yeah, I don't know of
I don't
anyone
know.
else. But I don't really follow anyone
Yeah,
else.
that's true.
So it's tough for me to say.
I
just follow-
totally put you on
Yeah,
the spot
yeah.
there. I don't know, but
And
like
I don't want to
it's-
say anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, and someone in the comments can be like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about Helen, tell us a little bit like how you met her or how you ended up signing someone or sponsoring someone like her or others. Like, what's your approach?
Yes, a good question. So right now, I just want to go up front. We don't have any sponsorship spots open. Like, there's some that may be filled, may not be filled moving forward. But basically, this was kind of by chance. So I played with someone whose son goes to Emory in Atlanta, who happened to know Kevin and Helen or knew someone who knew them. They'd reached out, like, hey, we're looking for a sponsor. I really wasn't looking to sponsor anyone, but was like, I'll give it a shot because I thought after talking to him, it was a really good fit. They both love pickleball, both great ambassadors in the area for pickleball, and it seemed like it'd be mutually beneficial. Tried it out, and it's gone very well. So very happy something did, and hopefully we can have some of the sponsored athletes on the podcast, and they can tell their stories. And I don't want to steal their spotlight.
Yeah.
No.
Well, hold on a second.
I would love
Speaking
that.
of not stealing spotlight, so our viewers may want to see David. So David, you might want to lean forward a little bit.
It's just chilling.
You were this voice off screen for a second as you were leaning back, so I just wanted to make sure people saw you.
I like to, you know me. I'm just like, whatever.
The guy in the back.
David's
Yeah.
chair's just going to go bump, 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 and falls. You know.
Fall over.
No, I think that would be cool because we do see all these videos, interviews, podcasts with all the top 20 players that everyone knows in the world. But I would love to be able to talk to someone directly that is winning consecutive 5.0 tournaments in many different categories and say, how did you not only get to this 5.0, but like how are you trying to get to the pro level? Like what is your day-to-day training and stuff from kind of 5.0 to pro? Because I feel like that's a very interesting type of person right now. There's not as many people that are 5.0 players in pickleball, of course. But then, like, what are you doing to get to the next stage? I'm very curious. I'm not at that stage yet, but
Well, I think it'd be good for everyone to learn how to do it.
Yeah,
so I know, like,
that's very interesting.
Yeah, Braden and Jordan Briones talked about that a little bit today, going from 3.0 to 5.0. And
Yeah.
You don't hear about that much. So
Yeah.
that would be good. But
Yeah. So I think unless you guys have anything else to talk about, I think we may want to take a little bit of a 90-degree turn and talk a little bit more of what's going on with 11SIX24. What's new or what is about to be new.
yes, a lot
Around
of
the
exciting
corner.
stuff. Hopefully, going to answer a lot of questions here because we get in a ton.
Okay.
But we have, let's see. So I'll save the best for last. But I've been testing out a new surface here. This is interesting. And no one else I know of has tried this. I was doing a bunch of research in composites and came across it and sent a note to the manufacturer and was like, hey, I want to try this. So it's very interesting. You need to go through a few iterations.
Yeah.
It's very stiff right now.
It's not Kevlar.
No, it's
People
not
can probably
Kevlar.
look right now.
Yeah,
It's not Kevlar.
very different than Kevlar.
It's not.
Kind of in the same family, but different. It's not aramid,
Yeah,
not Kevlar.
When you feel it, like it's.
Oh, well,
it
any
feels,
peel ply is going to feel very similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you look at it, you feel it real quick, and it's.
Yeah, you do the pickleball wheel.
And just so everybody who's watching, who's like, well, what is the material? You're intentionally not.
No,
saying
not
the
yet.
material. I just want to be clear because as people listen, they're going to say, David, what is it?
No one
What
else
is it?
is
But you're
using
not.
it.
You're not going to say it, which is
So-
fine. I just want to clarify.
Yeah. No one else is using it yet. I don't know if I'm going to use it. If we can get the combo right, soften up a little bit, I think it'll be a winner. So it feels real nice. It's just a little stiff right now. But we have some things in the works that I have more prototypes coming to change that.
Also, too, it's
And
like,
Max, you played with this.
I did, yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
It's you're not wrong. It is stiff, but when you first got them, they were like very stiff, and we're like, oh wow. But then we also have to think like, oh well, let's break them in a little bit. Like what do they actually feel like broken in? And I feel like some of the ones that maybe that you have are finally getting to that stage where they are becoming a little more broken in with people testing them out.
Nothing crazy different. It's not like
It's not gonna
one
be
of the
like,
foam paddles that
yeah,
goes
no. But
changes completely.
I feel like at least in my experience, and I've used what? I think this is a 16 right here.
Mhm.
I've used the 14s, different shapes and stuff. It still has that Kevlar kind of feel to it, that kind of stiffness, but also that weird kind of cushion.
Yes,
It's a hard, like, but I feel like it has
It's the
like,
middle somewhere.
Yeah, like it has.
It's stiff but springy,
Yeah.
but not like the Shogun. It's not springy like the Shogun, but it's not.
Find the words.
It's hard to explain it, but it's like it's stiff but springy.
Even for like the
Just a different feel.
16s, I feel like I actually get some good power on this. Now,
Yeah.
different cores and stuff are obviously going to help
Yeah.
with that, but like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
No,
And it's a newer
but
shape.
Different.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
So we'll get to
different.
that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to get ahead of you, but it is a newer
Yes.
shape.
But yeah, it's interesting. So we'll go through a few minute iterations and hopefully have something out, in the summer. But with this, at least like in test paddles for people.
Yeah.
Um, but then also we have the new rocket ship, which will be coming out as an
There
alpha
we
in the
go.
next 2 weeks.
Yep.
Just for
Max is very
Sponsored.
excited.
That's a fun one.
yes,
Yeah.
just for sponsored players.
And me.
And yeah, well, me. So
And
this
others
is-
who can get into this
Yes.
location.
yeah. So
Hide
this
your IP
is
address.
this is the X shape. New core, new construction technique, a little bit different.
Mhm.
So it's basically how it was described by someone else. Excuse me. Was it's not as powerful as like the Paddle Tech or the Gen 3s.
Yeah.
But when you want power and you hit it, you get it. But at the net, it's not poppy like a Paddle Tech or an Engage, right? You get that real big pop
Yeah.
off the face with those. With this, you don't at the net. But when you hit it in singles, you get it, which is very interesting. So very excited about this. This will come out as alpha. We're going to do some tests.
Yeah.
If they like it, we'll do a limited run. This will probably be the Hirachi X Pro.
So probably not for someone like me who needs more in the control run.
No, this is like you need to, it's a little bit smaller sweet spot, and it's very
Soft
rewarding
hands.
when you hit it.
Yeah.
But if you can't hit the sweet spot or you don't have softer hands, not that it's really poppy, it's not.
No, it's all right. I have
Great
a death
singles
grip. I have a
paddle.
death grip,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
I definitely don't have
we
soft
know.
hands.
Yeah. And then also tried out the Slice
The
speed
cap.
cap, which
Yeah.
I really liked. I didn't attach mine right because it was coming a little bit loose, but it bounced out the paddle real well. So I'm going to play around a little more with that. And that may be something that we do later in the future.
Here, can
And-
I actually get a slice cap real quick while you get
Yeah.
that next one? I just wanna look at
But that might be something we do with replaceable butt cap weights. I'm not sure yet
it. Yeah.
because it hasn't. It's
Oh, is that like?
caught on. It's metal.
It is
I
metal.
don't
Oh my
know what
gosh, I
kind
did
it
not
is.
know it was metal.
Yeah, but you see, it's wiggly. I didn't follow the instructions
Oh,
right,
it is.
and I use electrical tape. You'll see that athletic
Oh.
tape.
Oh, wow.
But when it was on there, I really liked it. I also feel how big it is at the bottom.
It
Like
does
it's
look
hard to
weird.
play. It's weird to play with another paddle that doesn't have
Yeah.
the bigger. Chris was saying the same thing this weekend. So, because he has it on his paddle as
Yeah.
well.
So if you've got a two-hander backhand, that
Well, no, even
bigger
one
butt.
hand.
So
Yeah.
is it? It looks thicker too.
It is thicker than the normal
Actually,
butt
I can
cap.
just see-
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's bigger. It's
But
substantially
it
bigger.
bounced out the paddle really well, and for singles, like it just felt so good. That's a 9.3 ounce paddle,
Yeah.
and it did not feel like
After-
it.
Because of
After
the-
all the weights. Well, I have
After
more
the
I have
slice.
tungsten on it.
9.3.
Yes.
Okay.
But it didn't feel like it.
Hmm.
So it was nice. But I'm going to experiment more with weight. That's been all the rage on the Discord.
Weights in general?
Oh,
or
no,
or
the butt cap
Oh, the
weights.
butt
Yeah,
cap.
People have been
people
saying
really
tape
like
some
that.
quarters to the bottom.
I mean,
You
I've
can put
wrapped
tungsten
some.
putty in the bottom as well,
I guess.
which honestly might work better. But
I've
Can't you
before
just
put
tungsten
it
tape
in
the
here,
bottom,
but
yeah, but
see, I've done that.
tungsten tape is interesting. When you put lead or tungsten, like you put it in the handle,
Mhm.
you feel it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like you can feel the ridges and stuff.
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
you put a bunch of overgrips on it.
Nice.
So
which I do, so
yeah.
it's okay.
But yeah, this paddle is fun. It's I don't know where what it it is kind of
It's
similar to like a.
You
I'm
can't find the
blanking
word.
out.
You
Yeah.
can't
But
find
it
the
was-
words because he's got
it
40
was
paddles at
described
home.
to be
Yeah.
as like
No, I counted.
power when you
Wait,
hit it.
wait, you
when
counted. How
really
many do you
hit
have?
it.
Yeah,
How
When
many do
you
you
really
have?
hit it, you get power, but it's
Yeah.
at the net. It's not super powerful.
yeah. It's and that's what I like. I really like power
It's a
paddles
good
that
balance.
aren't too poppy.
Yeah.
And because this is gonna be a fun one.
I think that's where the limit of power should be. Is
Wait,
this
hold on.
paddle.
So
Yeah.
32 at home?
I counted. I did count. What is your guess? Without
32.
going over.
I'll go 32.
Without going over. Whoever wins gets the slice cap.
32.
I think you have like 41 paddles.
I had 28.
Oh.
Sorry, he gets your cap.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I gotta take
But
this.
speaking of new paddles, I'm
New
gonna add
paddles,
some to
Yep.
your list here. Here's the Monarch.
Ooh, look
So
at
very
that.
excited for this. This should be out next week with pre-sales happening later. this week, hopefully, just waiting on USAP approval. And then some ship today, some will ship Friday. Should have the whole batch by next week and start getting them out. So very excited for this. This is like a wide body standard shape. It's a little bit different. I've been told it plays like a hybrid. That's how people describe it. So it's like if someone took a Hirachi X, sat on top of it, squished it.
Yep.
That's what
Wider
you get.
sweet spot.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Huge sweet spot.
Yep.
5.75 inch handle, so still a longer handle. Not quite as long as the X, but you can't give up too much face. Really low swing weight, 109 to 111. So you're able to customize it, keep it low if you want quick hands, and high twist weight at like 7.1, 7.2. So it'll come in 3 flavors. Jelly Bean, which is going to be $99, Gen 1.5, like the Prism series. Amazing paddle, probably great for all people.
Yeah, that's one of my
If you look at
I liked it.
Augie on the PPA Tour, plays with the Gen 1.5 paddle. So
I tested it out probably a month ago, and I liked it. And then you took it from me. So.
Yeah, because I needed
I
it
think
back.
I took it from you.
Well, yeah, you took it from me because
everyone's fighting over it.
I technically took it. Yeah, no, that one's going to be
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
And then we have the control version, Kevlar, same as the Hirachi X, $149, so $150. And then the one a lot of people are excited about outside the Jelly Bean is the All Court. So that'll be like the Control Plus, fixing the naming. So All Court, so it'll have the fiberglass carbon fiber face. So will the Jelly Bean, which is different. Gives a little more pop than the Prism, but not overly uncontrollable. But the CFC one, everyone's very excited for that because they've been looking for a wide body or standard shape with the extra pop, and it has that.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hit the sweet spot on that one, it just feels good.
Yes.
But yeah, even with the Jelly Bean, it's even like the first couple times that I played with it, it's to me a Prism, just a little more power and pop. But like not too much, which is like perfect. Because I mean, when you have a paddle like a Prism, like a control paddle, that's kind of what you're going for.
Yeah.
Like I want a control one. I don't want to, but this one just kind of gives it just a little extra something.
Yeah.
Which is just, I think it's at that perfect
spot. You're talking Jelly Bean.
The Jelly Bean, yeah.
Yeah, you want to put it away, you have that extra power, but it's still soft like a Gen 1.5,
It
which
is.
is very nice.
I love that plush.
Yes. So
you don't handle.
Handle. Yes, fix the handle. That'll be coming to the Hirachi X sometime this fall, but it's just a nice
and the handle shape. You mean?
Yes, the blockiness. We got rid of that. That was no one really complained about it, but I got a few like, hey, I'd like a more octagonal
It's just a more
shape.
a better fit to your grip.
It feels better, nicer in the hand.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you can always overwrap it more if you want it thicker and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I always prefer it. I mean, it's a little skinnier.
Yeah, and people say, "Oh, I wish your handles were bigger," but I also get way more emails saying, "Thank you for making a 16 millimeter with a smaller handle," because a lot of people with smaller hands say, "Hey, I have to go to a 14 millimeter," because I mean that was more in the past when paddles weren't thermoform because like the thickness of the sheet kind of determined your handle size. Because in ours, I don't want to get too much out of the construction.
Well, I mean, I think at least for me, where I prefer a larger handle because again, I go back to my death grip, a larger handle. I have found lessens the death grip, and so even when I had this one, I just used a couple of overgrips to bring it back to the size I want.
Yeah, you can always add. You can't take it off.
Yeah.
No, so that's the big thing. But speaking of control versus power paddles, that's been a hot topic and a hot debate recently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything going down. Yeah.
Yeah. So my take on it, and the unpopular one is, if you're 5.0 and under, you should probably be using a control paddle. You shouldn't be using any of these new paddles unless maybe you're older or you're not as strong and you can't generate power, right? Then I think, if you need a little extra help, that makes a huge difference. But I don't know. What do y'all think? I'm in the camp that almost everyone should be using a Gen 1.5 paddle or a control-oriented paddle.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's two sides to it. It's if you're actually looking to get better at the game and you actually want to do tournaments and stuff and you're trying to learn like new techniques, 100% Gen 1.5 control, because that's what's going to be the best for your game. You're going to see less errors on your side, or at least you should. But if you just want to go out and have fun with your friends and just try to body bag them as much as you can, and you're not worried about tournaments, go for power. But for
Hugh's been on the receiving end of that.
Exactly.
I've been on the receiving end.
For most
players,
I
would say, I think, and I mentioned this
court.
last time, I think when it comes to paddles, I fall in the camp of there's one for a different one for you. Like you ask, what should I have? And my answer will be, it just depends, right? But generally speaking, now there are little tweaks here and there. Generally speaking, to your point, and if our viewers, listeners haven't caught on, I'm more of the control camp. I think it is, especially people who are, in my opinion, beginning or 3-5-4. The control definitely does provide a more consistent game as you learn different skills, different shots. Even with more control, you can still hit somebody square in the chest pretty easily, as I have. So it's okay. It's just, again, just personal preference.
And it's not the power, right, that the shot's hitting someone. It's you setting up the shot before correctly.
Yep.
That helps you.
And if you have the
shot.
control, you can essentially, dink, 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 and wait to the right moment. Have patience, which I have very slowly learned over the past 2 years to develop that patience. We're trying. But when Max is across the net from me, patience is not my friend, and I just want to hit him.
That's when you just tense up.
Yes. But yes, I think to your point, and I actually saw a video this morning of someone saying one of the big differences between, say, a pro and a rec player is the pro picks the right shot, the appropriate shot first, whereas a rec player just does what they do off the top of their head. So generally speaking, pro dinks, waits for the right time to do a speed up or a lob or whatever, and is more strategic in that way. Generally speaking, control allows you to have that patience to wait.
Yeah, and if you watch like Braden's last video from Pickleball Effect, he played 2 pros. I think it was like Andre Dascu and Travis Redmeyer with the little spoon paddles.
Yeah.
And they whooped him, right? Like, and he's a 5-0 player as well. So it's like it's all about. And Ben Johnson's beat people with a frying pan.
Yes.
It's like so. Like you said, it's all setting up those shots, and they hit the right shots to be able to put away those shots or place them. It's not sure you can win at the 3-0 level or 3-5 level just by banging it, and maybe that's what you want to do, and that's fun. Sometimes it is fun.
Yep.
But yeah, it's all about working your way to set up the right shot to win a point.
Oh yeah, no, and I think a part of it too is just not giving your opponents any kind of like attackable balls or anything. I never want to give them like the offense. It's if I can do a nice drop and they're not able to speed it up, that's a win at my point. It also depends, especially if you're playing rec, like who's your partner? Did they pop up the ball and like they slam it at me? Like, okay, cool, I can't do anything about that. But in my mind, if I can go throughout one game and I actually have no like unforced errors and I don't really pop up the ball and anything like that, I take that as a win. Even if I won or lost the game, because like, all right, I'm learning, like becoming more patient, right? And like, especially at if I say 5-0 and below or 4-0 and below, people are going to make mistakes very quick, right? They're going to pop up the ball, they're going to hit it into the net, whatever it might be. Just wait for them to do that. If you just like go into the mindset of, hey, I'm just going to wait for them to make a mistake. I'm going to do anything that I can. Pretty much just, I want to get that ball over. I want to try to move them around a little bit, but I'm waiting for them to make the mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I think you and I talked about before. Like when I was playing previously, when I played like a banger, I really get in my head of what am I going to do to really beat the banger, and then essentially it's just get the ball, like block it, get the ball. Because some bangers that we play on a regular basis, if you just get the ball back, eventually they'll just either launch it past you or into the net because they are getting impatient too. So I'm just like blocking it to get it back. Again, this is like strategy depending on who you play, but I do know that some people, as long as you get it back to them and they're back to the baseline, eventually they're going to mess up because they're getting impatient. But again, depending on who you play.
I'm in the opposite camp of like, I don't want to make the other person wait for them to make a mistake because I may make a mistake in that time. I'm there to construct a point and set something up for me to win the point. So like even if you're playing with someone who pops a ball, learning where to place the ball, so maybe it doesn't go back to them or it goes to an easier place for them to hit it back and they don't pop it up. Like I think you can win to a point where the other people make mistakes.
Well, I think it also depends. And what I've learned is, so I actually probably play with the same set of people, maybe too often, because then I get to know their habits.
Oh, well, that's different.
And then I'm like, well, if I get it back, maybe 4 times, the 5th time will be a mistake.
Yeah, or like, hey, if I hit it, they're back and they're hitting it in the net or out.
Yeah,
like that's different.
Yeah.
So, but I think generally,
I get that. Yeah, I get that. I mean, I guess I've been always more of like a control player too. So it's like I love the transition zone. I think very good in it. And so one thing that I'm trying to work on more is being more offensive at that net. Really attacking those kind of high volleys and stuff. But it's funny. Like one thing I do see, especially with even like 3-5 players they're always just attacking, right? Especially within that transition zones, they're trying to attack everything. So I think kind of like what you said, David, was kind of making it so the opponents aren't able to give them a ball that they're going to kind of mess up on a little bit. You can only do so much, but really trying to help out my partner as much as I can, because it's not just me, right? I mean, I need to make sure my partner's good. I need to when I'm hitting certain balls, I'm like, all right, if I hit this and I miss it, what is my partner's capabilities? Are they going to be able to get it's a lot of calculations that you have to do in your mind. And also, of course, depends on the type of player you are.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the control paddles help, right? Lessen those mistakes.
Yeah.
You keep the ball down, keep it in, and it teaches you placement. I've been winning a lot lately. I noticed when I place the ball right or set up that shot to be able to place it, not by smacking it at their chest.
Yep.
A lot of people are going to hit it right with paddles nowadays. Even the soft ones are going to hit it back harder at you.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest
thing. They have a gearbox in front of you. I think it's just going to...
Well, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Most people I know who play with those, like the power paddles, any of them. We saw all of this. So we'll start with the gearbox. I bought one. Super exciting. So much fun. And then you're like, ooh, I'm not winning games. Ooh, I'm hitting everything out. All right, I'm back to the paddle.
Yep.
Gen 3's come out. Oh, whoa. Everyone's like hitting them. Everyone's all this uproar. And most people I know couldn't dial them in and had to go ahead and switch back. You're seeing that with the TKO now, too.
Yeah.
Even Christian Elson said he had a hard time adjusting to it, and it took him a while. And he's a pro.
And it's his paddle.
Yeah. So and again, I'm not saying these are bad paddles. These are all good paddles.
No,
There's plenty of good paddles on the market, but it's how you play with, are able to play with them, right? And they're just, for majority of people, they're really hard to play with.
Yeah.
So look at Jack Sock. He uses a Lux, the Marshmallow.
He does.
So
he also
has
he also hits the ball very hard. Yeah, that's a little different.
Again, it's all about your style and whatever paddle matches your style.
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying any of these paddles are bad.
Yeah. No.
They're just different, but majority of, for most people, something softer is a little better.
So I know we're probably getting close to time, so let me wrap up a question for you all. Like over the next week, either what are you looking forward to from a pickleball perspective, or what are you working on?
Well, what about you, Max?
Gosh. Let's see. Well, we got the holiday coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to play. I'd like to play maybe this weekend. What are y'all doing? Putting you on the spot right here.
Not playing with you.
But one thing that I'm really trying to work on is kind of like I said before, is being more offensive when I'm at the line. Taking those volleys out of the air, really trying to do kind of like more kind of flicks and stuff. And because for me, I mean, it's obviously, way easier if I let that ball just kind of fall into the kitchen and I dink it over. But we don't want to do that. Whenever we can hit it out of the air, we want to hit it out of the air. So yeah, that's one thing I've been working on probably for the past 2 weeks, and I'm going to probably continue, of course. But yeah, I've seen myself when I am able to kind of get those balls out of the air and be more offensive. I don't know if this is just from the people that I usually play with, kind of like you, is they're not expecting it. Because I think I did let a lot of them drop before, so like, oh my gosh, okay, he hit that out of the air, he flicked it, which is good. It means I'm adapting as a player. So yeah, I'd say just kind of being a little more offensive at the line.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, for singles, I'm playing Beer City Open in singles in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So very excited for that.
What level?
So 4-0.
Nice.
It's returns. So I played in an open, my first open. Probably didn't belong there. Well, I did all right, actually.
Just gotta push yourself.
No, I know. Oh, it's all about pushing yourself. So my returns, the first game I lost 3-11, and I gave them 9 points off returns. Second game, got all my returns, and it was 10-12. And this was a legit duper 5-0 rated player who's very good.
When you say your returns, are you saying like
off their serve?
Like they went long.
Well,
or short,
are they going long or they going short?
They're all over the.
They were all over the place. So it's really like I'm drilling with someone tomorrow who plays some pro qualifiers, and that's what we're gonna do: serves and returns. Get out my ball machine, set it up a little bit, and just practice. Hit 1,000 returns. And I noticed last night in my singles league, same thing. When I can get the return in and deep and hard, not necessarily hard, but mostly deep, and put it in the right place, depending on the player and what their weaknesses are, I'll win every time. But if I don't hit a good return, I'm getting past the net or I can't get to the net, that's where I get in trouble. So it makes a big difference. So that's my focus, because the tournament.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck. It'll be fun.
Yeah, excited.
Yeah, so for me, it's, I think, continuing with making my third shot drop more consistent. It's gotten better, but
Yeah, it does.
It's got a lot better.
But I think the main thing over this past week is more transition zone and actually getting lower. Like I feel like I'm low, but I'm not low. Like it's one of those things where you think you're low, but you're really not that low.
No.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
It does make a big difference because when there are times, that, like was it yesterday?
Last night.
It was last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm losing track of days already. It's the old age. So
The old age. Yes.
we were playing last night when I made a point of getting lower than quote unquote I'm comfortable with, but it was actually really low and you are in position.
Yeah.
Whereas where I'm comfortable low, not really low, well, it just bounce right by me. So body position, right?
Yeah.
And getting that right.
It makes a big difference. I think you get to a point like everyone can start to hit drops or hit certain shots, but how you're positioned, where you're moving, using your legs.
Yeah.
Just taking one little step over.
Using your legs is just
It makes such a difference.
you can become such a better player if you actually just utilize your
Yes.
legs more.
Yeah.
It is
It
so
makes a
wild.
huge difference.
It's like just learn how to really use your legs and like work out your legs, like squats or whatever it might be. But it is wild, like the better player that you could become.
I've seen it. People just
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
It is, yeah. So, but yeah, no, we're gonna your transition zone is looking better. It is.
Everything's
It's
working
just
on
we
everything.
just got to get you a little lower at certain points.
Max, you and I are
So,
both better than we were 2.5 years ago. Just you.
I
and
hope so.
Yeah.
Hey, no, there are people who I've played over the past 2.5 years who probably have not, but it's by choice, right?
Yeah.
They're comfortable with where they
yes.
are. They're comfortable
And
with where they
and
are.
they're just going out to have fun.
And
Like that's kind of
what
like
the sport's all about. At the end of the
Exactly.
day, right? Like I love to compete, but
Yeah.
everyone's there to have fun, get some exercise, make some friends.
That's
Yeah.
literally just
That's
like
what we love about it.
when I play with my mom. You know, she's the one that got me into the sport. It's something that we can connect with. When I go play with her, she literally just goes out for
Yep.
fun, play with her girlfriends. They might go get like mimosas after, like that type of play. And I'm like, Mom, what? Like, you've been playing for how long? Like your serve is still not going in. And she will look at me and just give me those mom eyes, like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
She's there to have fun with her
sorry.
friends.
Like I know it's just. Just
You can't do that to
advice
your mom
out there
like
to
that.
end this episode. If you are playing with a loved one, just keep your mouth shut, have fun, and you'll be good to go.
Yes.
So, but yeah, this was a fun
All right.
episode.
Yeah, it was
guys.
So we made it through the transition zone, and we even did a little squatting. And with that,
Until next time.
I think we'll see you in the next episode.
Have a good holiday, everyone.